I was just looking for a sweater. I just like reached up. I haven't been in the sweater level in a while.
I almost wore my white cable knits.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then it would have been perfect too.
You're gonna start some room.
I put a shirt on for the first time today.
Okay.
I've been wearing a T-shirt every day.
All right, folks, I want to call the meeting to order here at 7:30. Roll call, William Johnson.
Here.
Tom Graffinino.
Here.
Lynn Colligan.
Here.
Lisa Kreckler.
Here.
Phil Diorio is here, and Stephen Kiley is on the Zoom call. First order of business is to review and approve the September 21st minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right. We have Christina. Can I see, so what's up with the resolution here?
Where am I looking at?
What's that?
Resolution
On the
application.
agenda.
Where's the resolution?
I think maybe that's leftover or something, right?
Where?
This one. Those are the minutes.
Those are minutes.
I'm looking at the agenda.
You have that from the last time.
Oh, I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh, here we go, sorry.
Yeah.
I got
I'm
something
looking at,
to
pulled out the old one. Sorry. All right, so we have two applications to discuss tonight. The first is 8 North Brandon Parkway with Newski. That's the place where the folks built a basketball court. It's in the setback, it's in near shore overlay, and it's an asphalt court there. Just wondering if we have some input on that? Anyone?
We had one letter against it.
Yep. And anybody have anything that they'd like to discuss on this one?
Was there any further correspondence?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Just the one. I know of.
I'm not opposed to it. I mean, oh, Stephen?
Mr. Chairman, yeah, sorry. I just want to make something clear. In the neighbor's letter and then also in the original stop work order, it alleges that the court's within the wetland setback. I don't think that was ever confirmed because in the denial letter, there is no wetlands issue cited. And also, I'm not a surveyor, but eyeballing the survey, I don't see that within 100 feet of the wetlands. So I just wanted to make it clear because I know it was raised in one of the opposition letters that there's a wetland issue, and I don't think there is.
No, I don't think there's a wetlands issue either, but there is a setback issue. And there also is the issue that this is a new slab of asphalt poured in the near shore overlay. And it's in a place where you're not allowed to have an asphalt driveway, for example. So those are the problematic parts of it, I guess.
That is too close to the property line.
Right, and it's in the setback.
I think it's a pretty significant one. They're gonna need 16 feet variance. It's not like they need a foot. It's a decent corner of that entire slab of concrete.
Yep.
Call it a basketball court, call it whatever, it's a slab of concrete,
No, it's asphalt.
asphalt.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a hard time with this one. When I was always a big basketball guy. I love basketball. This was done without any permits. So
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm willing to defer to the opinion of the feelings of the board. So I'd like everybody to maybe just weigh in a little bit here.
I feel like it wasn't done with malice. I do believe it was an oversight, not that the intent is part of it. Just given the scope of a lot of the things we approve here, I understand the two objections, but I still don't have a problem with it.
I think it has two significant strikes against it, which would lean toward not allowing it. You know, it's in the Near Shore overlay where there's, should be no asphalt allowed, and it's in a significant side yard setback. And well, another one, it was done without a permit. In my mind, it's, you know,
So they would have to rip it up, basically.
yeah.
They can play in dirt, playing basketball. A lot of people played on dirt, grass.
Yeah, look, I would say I wouldn't suggest that people go play basketball in the dirt, but
I mean, the other argument is people, you know, there's someone in my neighborhood who has a hoop right on the road. This North Brender's a little bit more heavily traffic, it, you know, has more traffic. You don't necessarily want people playing in the road to avoid
Right.
for safety reasons, but there's plenty of places and people around the island that still are able to play basketball using hoops that are alongside the road.
yeah, and I mean,
They can keep,
There are
beautiful
three,
basketball
that's true,
courts right here.
that's true.
and they can still keep the hoop there and play basketball. Just play it on the grass or dirt.
And it's good, but it's going to impinge. They're not going to be able to actually use it the way
Yeah.
it was built to be used.
Absolutely not.
And the part that I get, and I thought we had originally spoken about them putting up some type of
Fence.
fence or blind or tree line bushes, but it's not a structure. You know, yes, it's asphalt and it's on the ground, but it's not the side of a building that a neighbor would be looking at. And it's the children part of it, kind of, you know, that's where the kids, but again, it doesn't alleviate the fact that they did it, that it's wasn't done correctly.
Well, I don't know. Here we are, bit of a conundrum. Is there a possible compromise position here?
I know we had just, well, we had raised the question of like moving it, so it's not as impactful regarding the side yard variance, but there wasn't much of a solution when we had brought that up.
When we're talking about cutting off that,
Right, or cutting off the corner, which again is not a real solution, in my opinion.
Anybody have something to,
I was, in the beginning, thought about a fence to the neighbor's property, but the more I keep thinking about it, I think they just gotta remove it. The right thing to do.
That section that's overlying or the complete.
I think they gotta remove the whole thing complete, because it'd be worse playing on a little section where a kid could stumble off the asphalt. Be better to all dirt. They can keep the hoop, but just move it.
If I just could chime in on that point, we don't have authority to make them remove it completely out of the setback. You know, that our jurisdiction ends with the encroachment into the setback.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, can you say that?
Can you say that one more time, Steve? I didn't.
We cannot say you have to remove that entire court. We can only say you have to remove the section that's encroaching into the setback. That's where your jurisdiction ends. Because otherwise, what's left is compliant.
well, no, it's not compliant, Stephen, because it's asphalt in the near shore overlay.
And it was done without a permit.
But it wasn't called that. You weren't, they're not in front of you for that. If that was indeed something that the building department found in violation of the code, they would have put it in the denial letter. So that's not what they're asking for relief from, is the encroachment into the side yard setback. And like, you know, according to the code, it's talking about driveways. This isn't a driveway. It says driveways and parking areas.
Even though it's asphalt?
Correct. It says driveways and parking areas shall be made of permeable material. This is not a driveway nor a parking area.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna ask if anybody's got any thoughts based on Stephen's last comment?
What about a vegetative buffer to the neighbor that complained?
The neighbor don't live there. He lives across the creek on Cozy Lane.
But I think he also owns,
He might own that lot, I don't
owns a
know.
lot next to
So
him.
that's on the other side of.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah,
So, I guess then the question is, do we say that the part that's in the setback has to go? Can I take a quick look at that survey again, Lisa?
yeah, I would say they have to remove that out of the setback.
Like, arguably, they could put the hoop in where you see the word asphalt basketball court and shoot on it. That will almost have at least a free throw that you could, I don't know if you'd have a half court if you did it that way.
I mean, we could go back to, like we said, if they take out the section and then whatever's on the other side of it, they could put more asphalt on the other side and go toward the house.
They could move that.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, and cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could put the hoop on the house side.
Right.
Right,
And then they'd have almost, again, arguably a half court.
I think that's the only logic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
they just gotta,
yeah, because we have to look at the 20-foot line, correct? The 20-foot hash line? Yeah, it's 20 feet, so it's not even it's the hash line in the middle. So if they made them cut out that section, they'd still have a usable court if they put the hoop on the house side.
So, I mean, for me, that seems like a reasonable compromise.
Reasonable.
Yeah, that is reasonable.
yeah,
Does that seem
Yep.
okay?
yes,
I mean, they could pour in if they wanted, they could pour a
They
little
could-
bit
right,
more.
in, yeah.
On the other
On their side. Yeah.
Try to square it up the best they
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Yep. Does that seem fair to everyone?
Yeah.
yeah, there's a tree there. That's why they can go closer to the driveway.
Okay, so let's go through the check.
Checklist,
Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property. You know, I don't know how many other properties in that area are in the setback, but certainly anytime that you're putting something in the setback, it does have some detrimental effect.
the answer should be yes, right?
There's a noise factor too
Yeah,
of being close to the neighboring
Right.
property.
yeah,
Loud basketball games or,
right, kids yelling and.
so
What was the
No.
first factor? Because I think I'm the note taker by default.
Oh, go right ahead.
Yeah, what was the first factor we mentioned?
That anytime that you're in the setback, it does have some effect on the character of the neighborhood.
Okay, encroaching. Okay.
Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. I would say yes, if they could pour a section of asphalt on the other side of the court there, that's not in the setback. Whether the requested variance is substantial,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
it's 16 feet.
Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? I mean, I think the only thing would be some noise.
yeah,
Children playing.
yeah, right.
That's the part that,
Yeah, I look,
Yelling and who,
yeah, I'm with you on that one, Tom.
okay,
I get that.
Well, I
I
mean,
know, I get it.
for the environment too. I mean, I know technically they didn't raise it in the letter, but it is what the physical variance that we're talking about, the 16 feet of asphalt, it's in the near shore overlay where it shouldn't be allowed. So taking that out will hopefully be a little bit more positive for the
Yep.
environment.
I agree.
Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, yes.
yes,
Yeah. or it was made without permits. Okay, does anybody else have anything else to add to that? No? Okay, let's move on then. We're going to move on to 8 Wesley Avenue. That's a garage that's going to be torn down and replaced on the same footprint. Garage is going to be a little bit taller, mostly because of the pitch of the roof, but also it's going to have a new foundation. And I'd ask the board to weigh in here.
I think something significant about this one is that they are following the same footprint for of the garage that's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a contributing structure, I believe, on the historical.
Yeah, it's historical.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
They're
District.
taking great care with the board and batten siding. And as you mentioned, Punch, some of the height has to do with the foundation, or is it the pitch of the roof? Or is it-
Both.
Does anybody have any objections to this application?
No.
Don't.
Okay, I mean, we had you know, heights weighed in a very positive way.
Right.
They did request some of those same things as before. Let me just see if I can put it up here. Yes, thank you. Sorry, Lynn.
That's okay.
So. Here we go. Bill Heights was asking that the roads kept clean, clear. Again, they're requesting this thing with the construction methodology and contracts, the Heights construction renovation regulation.
Yeah, the same normal
Right.
procedure.
The one thing I would say to what we said on the Heights Firehouse is that the Heights construction and renovation regulations, that's something I think between
Yep.
the HPOC and the homeowner,
Right.
as opposed to being something, because there are many applications that go for stuff in the Heights that don't have to come here, and they have to work that out with the homeowners in those cases. I do think that we can ask to, store all the construction materials and equipment on the property. I think that's a reasonable request. And also to keep the road open and passable at all times. We had a little just thought about that,
Yeah.
about making sure that it's used as a garage only. I don't think that there's any need to put that in there for now, because at this point, it's going to be approved as a garage, and if they were ever wanting to do something different there, they would have to come back here for that. Is everybody on board with those sorts of things?
Yes.
Yep.
Right, so in the end, then, Christine or Stephen, I think that the conditions that we would want to impose is that all construction materials and equipment should be stored on the 8 Wesley Avenue property, and that the road and alley are kept open or passable at all times. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
All right, so let's get into the checklist then on this one. Whether an undesirable change would be producing the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties.
No,
And the reason?
because they're just replacing what's there and updating to the code.
Okay. I think that the garage that's there now is half dilapidated.
It is, sitting on the ground.
Yeah, so I
And she's gonna fall over.
I don't see any undesirable change here.
Yeah.
Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. You know, it is possible that they could rebuild this where it sits, and they would not need a variance. If they were going to change the pitch of the roof, then they would need a special permit to increase the bulk of the nonconformity. But I don't think it's a feasible alternative because you're trying to polish up this thing that's kind of
And the
rough.
integrity of that existing roof on that building is,
Yeah, and then it's sitting on the ground too.
So I don't think there is a feasible alternative.
Based on the current state, the state of the current
Condition,
condition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did ask them if they considered other locations and
right.
looking at how
There's
the
not
house,
much
there's
on there.
not much, yeah.
Okay. Whether the requested variance is substantial, it is. It is well into the setback.
Yeah,
Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood?
no,
No, and the reason for that is there's a garage there now.
right.
You know, if anything, it's going to make it a little bit better that you don't have the danger of this falling down.
Dilapidated building.
Yep. And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. You know, I don't know, time marches on, things fall apart. Is that their creation? I don't know, but they do want a new garage, so perhaps it is. So we're going to say yes or no?
I would say yes,
Okay, yes, okay, because they want to update the garage and make it new again.
right.
All
Can
right?
I just get in,
Just one thing to that point. Again, it's a pre-existing non-conforming structure, so when it was built, it was legal because there was no prohibition on it because it was before zoning. So in this
Right.
particular case, is it really self-created because the structure was there and they're looking to maintain it? Just throwing that out there for discussion.
Right, yeah, the one thing, my point there, Stephen, was a kind of a lack of maintenance has led it to fall into the state of disrepair that it is today.
If somebody took care of it, it would probably have been fine.
Yeah, but I mean, the current owners are not responsible for that.
No.
so do you want to say no on that one?
What's that?
Do you want to say no?
I don't know, whatever you guys pick. What, you want to say
I'm
yes?
leaning toward, no.
Okay, let's go no, right?
And can I get, for number 3, the substantial nature, well into the setback, can you give me a foot amount?
Lisa, you got the survey in there? Okay.
Not very well marked.
You got it, yes. It's got a fine.
It's in a 7.8 feet intrusion on the side yard.
7.8,
Yeah,
I got
it's,
side yard setback.
Yeah.
that's the parking lot, yeah.
7.8 feet, not 7 inches.
7.8.
Yeah, that's what's on this.
0.8.
Okay, thank you.
Proposed new garage, side yard setback.
And 141.2 square feet within the
All
setback.
right, and then can I take the conditions right off of this?
Lisa, can you read that out again?
Yeah, so in the denial letter, we have a side yard intrusion of 7.8 feet with a total approximately of 141.2 square feet within the setback and entirely in the front yard setback at the southern property line. Because of that, I think the right of way.
Yeah.
Okay, and then can I just write the conditions as they are in this document without the last one?
Well, without this one also, it's just this, that they keep the road clear, and that materials and equipment are stored on the
Okay.
property.
On their property.
Hey, does anyone, Ed, Stephen, you want to say something?
His dog.
No, that's my dog. I'm sorry.
Does anyone else have anything on this application? No? Is there any other business for us here tonight?
Do we want to talk about the calendar?
Okay, well, Christina will run up calendar by, so I had asked Christina to make it so that we don't have a meeting during the school break week in February. And then we'll do the week or 2 weeks earlier in November and December to
Right,
avoid the
that's-
holidays.
Yeah, I think it's on our calendar now.
Yes,
Yeah.
for this year, but how about for next year?
Yeah, next year,
I'll
right.
prep that.
All right, and so maybe for next week, can we,
I'll try.
okay.
We're still in October, but I'll
Okay, well,
next one.
just some, are we,
Have,
we do have next week because we have to vote on.
Oh, right.
These.
Right, on the resolutions.
Okay, so I would like to see, may I get a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good
So
night.
what time?
Night.
Good night, thank you.
7:56?